Let me just hold it up here so I don't have to bend over the whole time. All right, so today we're having a grant review. We're going to be going over the American Express Shop Small opportunity. So this is a great opportunity. We're going to tell you a bit about this. They offer multiple awards. This is an annual award. So if we're not ready for it this year, we definitely can make some moves to consider this opportunity for next year. So I want to take a moment at the beginning to talk about our quarterly grant reviews, and then go through this opportunity, review the grant, and talk about the next step. So it's not gonna all be about the grant. We're gonna start off by talking about the Mishawaka Business Association. Woo-hoo! So if you haven't yet joined the Mishawaka Business Association, this is a great time. 2026 is gonna be an exciting year. Lots of benefits for Mishawaka and businesses that are interested in doing business in Mishawaka. We're going to have more opportunities for you to access community resources. Starting in January, we're going to really be providing information and education that will really help you grow your business. You're going to have more opportunities to network. We're going to be having noon opportunities for people who can't always come to 1 Million Cups, right? It's in the morning, kind of starting your day off on every Wednesday. But if you can't come, you'll be able to tune into virtual lunch and learn opportunities with some of our regional resources. We're going to be adding new information to our newsletters. One of the new sections is going to be how to maximize your MBA membership, giving you tools and resources to use your MBA membership to continuously grow your business. So a lot of people join and they don't know what to do. We're going to be addressing that in our newsletters starting in 2026. And then we also are going to be having our same great events like CAM, golf outing, and the annual dinner and the annual meeting to help you connect with your peer organizations and also make new connections with civic leaders and industry leaders so that you can also grow your business. So we're going to be doing lots of things focused on our member businesses. So please consider joining the Mishawaka Business Association. The financial entry is very low, but the potential of earning is very high. So we invite you to join us and to grow together in Mishawaka and surrounding regions. So this quarterly grant review. So our goal is to help our community to access these opportunities, grants. Of course, grants are not the all for funding your business, but they are unique opportunities that if you match with it, that can really help you. So we'll be offering you opportunities every quarter that may or may not fit your business. But if they do, MBA members have the opportunity to work with me as a professional grant writer to get your applications out there and get them done as best as possible. So that's another benefit of being a MBA member. But these grants that we will be going over will be for small businesses and sometimes nonprofit organizations, because we do have some nonprofit members. But like I said, they will not always all fit every organization. But if you tune in, you can make steps in the future to make yourself eligible for any opportunity. As we go through this, if you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and ask. So, this is a Main Street America opportunity, the American Express Shop Small Grant. And this is the 2025-26 program. The 2025 because the application is due in 2025, but the award will be in 2026 for projects in 2026. So the deadline is January 17th, so there's plenty of time to do that, to get this in, and it is for US-based small businesses. There are a bunch of eligibility requirements, and And if you look at it, this is actually a link, and I'm gonna send this, so it is on the Facebook page. So if you are able and interested after this presentation, you can access this from the Facebook page, and then this title here is a link that you can click on and get right to the application. So my process for the submission of this grant. This grant is deceptively easy. If you look at it, it's gonna look very simple.
Sounds great.
But what I encourage everyone to do if you go to the link is to read the entire application first before you start clicking on it. There are gonna be some things that need to be, make sure that they're in line. You don't contradict yourself by starting to click things at the beginning and end on a different note. So make sure you read the entire application first. Create a list of the key ideas to include. So everything is not at the beginning. That's why you have to read the whole thing first. And then some people aren't even gonna read the information pages and the frequently asked questions. I did all that for you so that you can get all the inside scoop and have a better leg up than the people who are gonna skip that part. And then complete your application and then set it aside. We have until January 17th. Go ahead and do this and then set it aside so that you can come back and look at it again. Sometimes with fresh eyes, you see some things you may have missed, some things that you thought that you wanted to say, you thought you said it right, and when you come back and look at it, you realize that you should have said it a different way. It's a way to make this more concise. Never just fill it out and then send it right away. Make sure you fill it out, set it aside for a few days a week, and then come back and look at it with fresh eyes to make sure that you hit all the points you wanted to. And then finally, don't wait till the last day. Something always happens on the deadline. The system can crash. If it's too many people trying to submit at the same time, make sure you submit it at least the day before, maybe even the week before if you have it ready. Like I said, we have plenty of time right now. So if you find that this is a great opportunity for you, if you're an MBA member, you can make an appointment with me so we can get your application ready. And then if not, go ahead and take a look at it, during the holidays, set it aside, come back right after the holidays so that you can get that application sent. So let's talk about why I say this is a great opportunity. Number one, they give out 250 of these grants. That's one of the highest number of the opportunities that I come across. Usually, even people that give out 10 grants, that's usually a lot, but they do 250. So this is a great opportunity for, I'm sure they get thousands of applications, but your win percentage is gonna be much higher. So here's some information that it provided. In a 2025 study with American Express Shop Small, during the holiday season, 86% of consumers say they're likely to shop small. So if you think that people aren't buying locally and aren't looking for small businesses to support, then you're wrong. People are actually looking to support small businesses. So you really have to work to get yourself out there, because if you find your customer, they're really likely to buy. 89% of millennials and Gen Z are who they actually focus on. So the young people, I'm gonna call myself a young, are looking to support small businesses. So if you get yourself out there, you'll probably find the support. Small business owners expect nearly 20% of their annual revenue to come from sales on Small Business Saturday alone. Okay, so if you are not promoting your business during the Shop Small window, Black Friday, and during that time, you're doing your business a disservice. Make sure that you are pushing your business during that time, because people are looking for small businesses to support. These grants are $20,000 each. Who couldn't use a small infusion of $20,000? I know, that would be nice. But they're not just looking for any business or any project. They're looking for organizations that inspire consumers and small businesses to join the Shop Small movement. So they're looking for you to be inspirational, motivational for not only the consumers to buy your product, but to also shop small. Okay, not just you, all the other small businesses. So they're also looking for small business owners who make their community stronger. So it's not enough to do business as usual. They're looking for organizations that have a project to actually strengthen their community. That will look different for any number of different types of organizations. So you have to be creative. It needs to be in line with your business, make you profit, right? But also makes your community stronger. And if you have a blank on that, that's one of the ways that I can help you. We can discuss your business, talk about opportunities to make your business more involved in the community and support a population that you care about. Okay? So American Express will also donate $1 to the grant program for every purchase made during with an American Express card on November 29th. So this is where the grant dollars come from. They want people to shop small. If you use an American Express card when you're doing that, then they donate $1 for every dollar spent into the program, and this is how this program has been going on for year after year. So again, if you're not ready this year, you can be ready next year because this has been an ongoing program for a while. So I expect it to come back next year. So with this program, how can you stand out? How can you just show that you're not doing business as usual? You're actually interested in growing. Remember, that was one of their qualifications, and then also looking to impact your community. So number one, if you don't have an American Express card for your business, that's a great opportunity right now to get one for your business. They have high yield savings accounts, they have small business accounts, and then they have large business cards too. So this is a way to get your business credit established and help it to grow if you haven't started doing that. But they also offer something called business class. And this again is a link. So if you get this presentation online, you can click that link and go right to their business classes. They offer a variety of resources to help you grow and expand your business. So with that being one of the qualifications for this grant, it would make a lot of sense for you to log in, create an account, log in, and begin to participate in some of these learning activities. So that will show that you're making an effort to grow your business, and that's something that they can track. So again, they're looking for innovation and demonstrated support for your communities. So if you haven't done any community support, so this is an opportunity for you to say, I want to maybe do this grant in the future. Again, it's $20,000, 250 businesses are going to get it. This is something you can work on in 2026 so that you can apply it next December. Okay, so again, if you are drawing a blank on how you can benefit your community and your business, then that's something that I'll be happy to meet with you about, and we can brainstorm ideas. Recipients will have a 6-month period to complete a ready-to-execute project. So this isn't, so you get your $20,000, and we'll talk about how they want you to spend the money, but they want you to complete a project within 6 months of getting the funding. So this project is one, again, that benefits the community, but also benefits your business. So a lot of times I like to say, like if you own a barber shop, you could do back to school haircuts for kids free, so that people who can't afford haircuts or the getting ready for school, backpacks, glove drives, anything like that, where you're benefiting your community, bringing people into your business so that they can become new customers, new clients, customers. So those are kind of the things.
What about collaborations?
Collaborations
Yeah.
are definitely.
So, cause like I can I could, through what I do, I could tell a lot of people to shop on
Right.
Shop Saturday, right? Small Shop Saturday.
But
But I don't have actually a thing to sell, but I could partner with somebody who has a thing to sell, but doesn't really have a way to get the word out.
So that's a good point. Service-based businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Service-based businesses, they're gonna have to be uniquely creative, and I'll talk about it a little bit later about why that may be. I think about Drew's business, he would qualify for this even as a service-based business. But it is gonna be more difficult for service-based businesses to
Unless you
qualify
team
for
up with somebody.
That's true. And the thing is, for instance, if you have a product-based business and you don't know how to create a project, that would be a great time to partner with a nonprofit. So you guys can have an agreement where it's some type of split with the money, but you can implement this project in connection with the nonprofit so that you can benefit your community, be eligible for the funding, and get the grant.
Right.
So, yeah. You do need to have a detailed budget for how you would spend the $20,000. You can have a program that's more than $20,000, and then you could put the $20,000 toward it. And you can have a program that's less than $20,000 where you could buy equipment or marketing or something else if you needed to spend the rest of the money. So it's not necessarily needs to be $20,000 on the dot for the project. It just needs to explain how you're gonna spend the $20,000. And again, it's best to have more eyes on it. So if you don't have someone to proofread it, again, members of the MBA have the opportunity to work with me to go over your grant application before you submit it. So that's always out there. Another thing that they say, you need to be connected in your community. They want organizations that are visible and have community connections. So again, if this is not you right now, this is a perfect opportunity at 1 Million Cups and other things to start working on that. Make the connection to community with community business, civic, and NGO leaders or nonprofit leaders, just to make sure that your business is connecting the community. It doesn't always mean they need to be using your products and services, they just need to know who you are and that you can reference them. They would maybe offer you a letter of support, something like that, but they are looking for organizations that are connected. Again, the self-guided e-learnings in the business class, I recommend that you do that. And then you need to also be willing to share your story, do interviews, and participate in ongoing American Express Shop Small program project journey, and that is an ongoing requirement. They want to just kind of brag on how great this is going in different communities. So if you have a great project, they really like it, they'll want to do interviews. They'll want you to talk to new grant recipients. So you need to be open to do something like that. Just have that understanding. And even if you have multiple businesses, you only can apply for one at a time. So pick your best option, apply for that. If that doesn't work, if you have another business, you can do that in future years, but you can only apply for one at a time. So in your submission process, you have to make sure all of your information is correct. And again, read through the entire document before you start, because they don't give all the information at the beginning. You can make a mistake at the beginning that contradicts the end. So don't just go through and read it off first. Make sure you have your plan for the document, and make sure everything you check is in line with your plan. Make sure you do the written portions prior to submission. So this is when I say read it first, they're gonna give you a little bit of information about the written portion. And then all of the questions that you answer are gonna be based on that. So if you go through and check your boxes before you do the written portion, you can come up with a conflict. So make sure you Think about your project, think about how you want it to be implemented, think about who you wanna involve first, then go through and answer the questions in the application. Again, proofreading, happy to help. But you need to be sure you fit the eligibility requirements because they are strict. We're gonna go over that in a second. But if you don't fit the requirements this year, again, you can take the necessary steps to consider for future submissions. You don't need to, I missed the word there. You don't need to finish this all at one time. You can start it and finish it later. Remember I said, if you don't have proofreaders and things like that, I suggest that you complete it, set it aside, and come back later. So go ahead and create an account there so that you can log in at a later date. Again, don't wait till the last minute. And after you've done the written portion, make sure that you save that document for future use. Even if you don't use it for this grant application, one, in the future, you may find that you can use it. And then two, you may do it outside of this grant application. It may be such a great project that you decide to do it outside of this grant funding. That's why a lot of people in the grant writing process find that they get a motivation, get new ideas, and get new projects just by going through the process, if you get the money or not. So you may end up doing this project if you get the grant or not. So make sure you save that document because you may end up using it for this or maybe something else. So again, I said it was deceptively easy. If you go online, you see, it just looks like a bunch of questions and check marks. It's like, oh, this is easy, check, 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 submit. And you won't get the grant because the questions are just one part. There is also other parts. So let's see. Remember that this is about impacting your communities and getting people to shop with your organization. Because remember, this grant fund comes from people spending on small businesses using their American Express card. Every dollar goes into the pot. This is how the grant is able to be contributed to the community. So they're looking for not only for you to impact your community, but also for you to build businesses and getting people to shop. So here's some information. The grant funds must be used to help the small business grow and or innovate and support their local community. If your business already supports your community, you can use the fund for growth and innovation. If not, a portion of the grant must be dedicated to a community-focused initiative in addition to business growth and innovation. All proposed project plans must be ready to execute in order for them to be implemented and operated by the end of the grant period. So you need to not only grow your business, impact the community, and it needs to be ready. So you can't start, get a location, you can't, buy essential equipment for this. It needs to be ready to go when you get the grant money. So here's some other things that you need to know. All funds must be spent during the grant period by September 2026. The application budget must clearly show how the business will source the $20,000 and any additional funds that you need. Remember I said it doesn't have to be $20,000 on the nose. It can be more, but if you do need more, you need to make sure you communicate where you're getting that money from. All businesses should be known, involved in, and important to the surrounding community. So, talked about this a little bit. If you have not worked to get your business name yourself out there, make sure that's a part of what you do because you will need to demonstrate how your business is known, important to, and involved in the surrounding community. So you also need a physical brick and mortar. So this is, in this part, I put it all together, but it's a couple of things in here. So you need to be a physical brick and mortar, a permanent structure, and solely used by that same business that's operating in it. So I can't think of how they call it, but, the organizations that have offices that,
Networking spaces?
yes, no networking.
Co-working
space.
space?
Co-working, thank you. No co-working space, it needs to be, a spot of your own. Now, if you, for instance, don't have that, we had a young lady here who, had a business, and she kind of worked with a candy shop. I don't know if you were here, you remember that.
Yeah.
But she had another business that had a candy shop and they had an open room. She just got her a new address, like B or something like that, 100 Main Street, number B. So now she has her own location, it's solely for her, and that she can apply for something like this. So you don't necessarily need to buy a building or do something like that. You just need to get a space, maybe a friend, another business or something like that that would be willing to allow you to use a space where you can have a standalone address for your business.
So you can't use the crib?
No.
Can I use the what?
The
You're
crib?
wrong. Yes.
Like a bar.
Sorry. No.
What about someone who like sells their things at like a farmer's market? So you kind of have your own little space.
So, and I think that last sentence there kind of does, it needs to be solely used by that same business operating within it.
Right.
So it can't be the,
Can be like a farmer's market.
Mailboxes plus.
yeah, right.
Oh, mailboxes plus, right.
So,
That's an idea.
right. You know, yeah, good try, but I don't think so. What funds may not be used for. So you can't pay invoices or credit card purchases before the grant period. No debt loan repayment, rent or utilities, payroll in any way except that the grant funds may be used to cover contracted labor being performed by the employee of another business. So if for your community project, like we were talking about partnerships, you can pay them for the work that they do, but it needs to be someone outside your business. So this is not used for staff or anything like that. This would be used for marketing, for items.
Sure.
Yeah, so, and no personal and non-business related expenses, of course. Now, the reason why I'm going through all of this, because if you decide to do this, a lot of people aren't gonna know all this stuff. But for you who come today or who listen to this presentation, you're gonna have a leg up on those businesses, those applicants, because people don't know you need to go through not only the frequently asked questions, not only the explanation of the program, but also the history of the program, the grant, and how they are expected to move forward in the future, so you can make sure that you are always eligible and meeting all the criteria. Some people will meet a lot of them, but if you go for this, make sure you meet all of them. So who is not eligible for this program? So nonprofits, sorry, this is not for nonprofits. Again, this is for shopping small, right? They're trying to promote small businesses. Franchises are not eligible for this program. Of course, businesses located outside the U.S., online businesses only. That one hurt because it seems like if you're doing, you want people to buy with their card, online business will make sense, but they want people to go into an actual brick and mortar. So, but even though you can't be an online business, they can't shop online. So people can make orders online and things like that. So your project does not have to be people need to come in. It could just people need to make purchases, and those purchases can be made online. Just you can't be an online only business. Home-based business, again, because people can't come in and shop. So they want that to be an option. Business operating solely from a motor vehicle, trailer, or temporary structure, like a food truck or something like that. No, this is not for them. Business who operate in a shared space, like the co-working, and here it is, pop-up and things like that. So, but you can have a dedicated space within another business as long as you have a dedicated space. So again, if you have a business who maybe have an extra room, office that they're willing to let you use and give you your separate address. Again, the young lady, I remember she had a notary business.
Sonia.
And right, and her business was located inside of a candy shop.
Yeah, that was it.
So yeah, it doesn't have to be related. It just needs to be someone that you can work with who will allow you to utilize that office. And businesses seeking to use the grants for a location, which they own, but a different business is operating out of, or which is vacant or not intended for resale. So you can't use it to get a location. Sorry, that needs to be something that you need to have ahead of time. Okay, so if you're not ready this year, get ready. This is not something that can hold you back if you really want to do it. I wouldn't say spend $50,000 forever to get ready for this grant. It's only $20,000, so don't go and buy a location for $20,000. If you have something that can be quickly and easily, used for a location, I would say go for it. I just recently, my sister and brother-in-law just bought a location. I'm like, ooh, I bet I can get a physical location for 2026 and be ready for this one in December. So all I need is an address, a physical address, and then I am ready to go for this. So if you find that's ready, this is a great opportunity because they give out so many awards. It comes back every year. You can apply for it over and over again. Verizon also has a similar opportunity. They give out a lot of grants. They have the same business class structure where they want you to go to the business classes, so check that one out too. We will again be going over many different opportunities for your small business, so be sure to tune in. Again, this one is going to be on the Facebook page, 1 Million Cups Mishawaka. So if you are interested, again, the actual grant application is a link in this presentation, so you can click right on it and jump right to it. Again, I'm here to help. Join the Mishawaka Business Association. The website is right here, www.mishawakabusiness.org. We'd be happy to count you among our members. And again, as a member, I can help you do any grant application that you feel like you need help with. And that's the end of the presentation. Do we have any questions?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So I've written for my share of grants.
Right.
And most of the grant applications ask for sort of similar things, especially when it comes to like your business. So do you think it'd be a good idea like to create sort of like a template where you have that information all ready to go? So when you find a grant, then you have to do is just modify it to meet the grant.
I agree with you 100%. As a matter of fact, as a professional grant writer, I encourage people to write what I call a master draft about your current programs, about community service programs, about your involvement in the community and how you plan to grow your business. It's not a business plan, but it is a plan that if you could use to request money that you can cut and paste into open grant applications, so that if you did find out about this particular grant opportunity, say on January 10th or even the 15th, you would have something ready to plug in and go.
Okay.
So it's great to think about these things early on, have it ready so that when opportunities do come up, you have a good reviewed application that's ready to be submitted.
That's great, thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions?
That's good.
All right, so I want to make a few, sorry.
We have
Okay,
some
Chelsea.
announcements, yeah.
Can you give us an example of a local business who's been a recipient of such a grant?
No,
What did he say?
he wants to know, do I have an example of a local business who's been a recipient of this grant? So the short answer to that, Jose, is no, I don't have an example. But I have only been in this position for a year, so that doesn't mean it hasn't happened. But in South Bend, I do know of a coffee company that was a recipient in South Bend. So it's a small business. They are a coffee maker, and they got a $25,000 grant, helped them expand their business. So it does happen, and this is one, like I said, the reason why I like this is because your win for chances are a lot higher because they do give out so many. So sometimes they only give out one, and then, like I said, the Verizon one, I believe they give out 50. So 250 is one of the higher numbers. You definitely have a higher chance of winning this one than a lot of other ones.
Well, South Bend, the city of South Bend's given away a lot of grants.
Yeah.
I think they do 4, maybe, I don't know about 2025, but before that, they did 25 grants per year, and also before that, they did 50 grants per year. So there are a lot of companies in South Bend. Seed Your Health Women's Initiative has received grants. We received a grant from First Source Bank Foundation and the Pokagon Fund. So we have done that.
And the city of Mishawaka also has a new grant program that people with brick and mortars also are eligible to apply for. It's a matching grant. You do need to secure 50% of the funding from an outside source. But it's very helpful, and you may have seen some of the construction around the city. A lot of that is due to the grants here in Mishawaka.
Yes, that's great.
Thank you.
All right, so I do have a couple of announcements. Number one,